It's Dorothy, and this is a shout out for the Pedal to the Metal podcast, hosted by Eddie Monster. Thanks for covering rock and metal. Thanks for being a fan. You truly are a black sheep, and I hope to see you at a show. Mwah.
What's up, pedalheads? Jermaine Man Eddie Monster here, back with another edition of Pedal TV News. That's right, the show that brings you all the exciting news in the rock and metal world. It's much like what I used to do on the podcast, but without the music. So, before we get into today's show, I just want to remind all of you to please subscribe to the channel. That's right, hit that subscribe button and stay in tune with everything I do here on this platform. I try to create as much content as humanly possible for all of you to enjoy, so I appreciate every single subscription that I get. So thank all of you for subscribing. All right, so I don't remember the world asking for it, but apparently it's there. This is our first news story, and it's one that I thought was so absolutely ridiculous from the start that I couldn't believe it for myself, that any artist in the world, okay, would ask people to pay $200 a track for an album that I don't remember anybody asking for, right? And I'm not trying to be harsh, okay? I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, but I don't remember there being a high demand for Vinnie Vincent Invasion, okay? That's just me, but anyways, according to reports that I'm seeing out there, this album, Guitarmageddon, apparently has been online, and it was offered for $200 a piece. He was hoping to make about $200,000 is what he was hoping to make. But since it didn't reach 1,000 sold, which would have made the $200,000, he pulled it off because he was like, nobody wants to buy this. And he did say that he didn't care if it was released ever or not. He doesn't care. But then, right, it doesn't end there, because now he is asking for $2 million. I would love to cue in the Dr. Evil thing, but I'm not going to, just because listen, I get every artist wants to make money, but the deal just sounds too shady. And let me tell you, because he says after purchase, right, for $2 million, you hold the rights to act as a label. But this is where it comes in, the but, right? Everything needs his approval in the end. The price does not include any rights, title, or interest in the copyright and or trademarks related to Vinnie Vincent. If you want to buy the rights, right, that's a whole separate transaction, okay? And it also doesn't say you have distribution rights, and you do not determine the life of the record, okay? Because that's what one of the big things was he was like, oh, you could, after you buy it, you could do whatever you wanted to for the life of the record. But you don't get to determine what the life of that record is, all right? He does. So you could buy this album for $2 million, and then tomorrow he decides, well, that's the life of the record. So now you're sitting on an album that you're no longer allowed to make money off of. I mean, that just doesn't sound like a good deal to me. But if you're out there and you want to take your chances, Vinnie Vincent Invasion, that's right, Judgment Day, Guitarmageddon, $2 million, pony it up. Who knows? Maybe you'll make your money back. Quite possibly, maybe you won't. All right, in other news that is a little confusing to me, back in February of 2025, the Amity Affliction parted ways with bassist Aaron Stringer. Excuse me. The band apparently is over $500,000 in Australian dollars in debt to the Australian Taxation Office, which in American it's like over 400,000 is what they're in debt. So apparently he was exited out of the band as part of the strategy to be able to pay back the Australian government for all the taxes apparently that they owe. And also their singer agreed that he would somehow separate himself from it so that he would only remain on the business side, right? Because they signed off in hopes that it would help pay back the loan in a 3-year span. So apparently you lost a member because you told him, hit the road, Jack, right? And then you told your singer, hey, listen, we're keeping you in the band, but you got to sign off on all this stuff so that we can, whatever we make on tour, we can, pay back and all this crap. But you'll still remain on the business side of things. So probably album sales, which all of us know are next to nothing. So it's just a little confusing to me, this whole deal that's going on with the Amity Affliction. I don't know how else to explain it. I would love to bring an expert in here who probably could. Maybe we'll see about that. So in other news, Exhorder and drummer Sasha Horn, have parted ways. That's right, due to behind-the-scenes personal issues, which basically means apparently Sasha has issues outside of the band that he needs to attend to. And here's what the band had to say. After more than 8 years as the drummer for Exhorder, Sasha Horn has decided to step away for the time being from the daily rock lifestyle to focus on his personal life. This decision does not impact our touring plans in any way, as we have been fortunate enough to secure the help of God forbid legend Corey Pierce. Corey will join us on the tour of Unsound Minds this coming month, so we are in good hands. We are excited to jam with Corey and to bring our live show back to the Eastern States for the first time in 2026. I love saying this band's name in this next piece of news. Sanguisugabogg. That's right, Sanguisugabogg. That's what I'm going with. Have parted ways with guitarist Cedric Davis after 6 years together. Here is what the band had to say. Informing you that we have mutually decided to part ways with one of our long-standing guitarists and friend, Cedric Davis. Ced leaves the band with an outstanding legacy that lasts almost 6 of the 7 years as a band. His contributions in our band will always be honored and never go unnoticed, as well as all the laughs and memories we have made along the way. We wish Cedric the very best in his life, for his child, and all his future endeavors. On our current tour, we will be performing our set with the same lineup we have used while in Europe. Our drummer, producer, and founding member, Cody Davidson, will be holding it down on guitar alongside Drew Arnold, and we have Eric Morati, hammering away on drums. This lineup is tight and sounds insane live, so you are in for a treat if you catch us. Sanguisugabogg. It's such a tongue twister kind of name to try to figure out, and they did this on purpose. Let me remind everybody, because they love to hear how you're going to interpret their name. Anyways, moving on into other news. Bobby Blitz Ellsworth, that's right, the lead singer of the legendary New York thrash band Overkill, has said on the Eddie Trunk Show that the band has new material. That's right, the album is pretty much done except for one thing, and that is Bobby's got to lay down the vocals, and then after that, they are aiming for a late 2026 release, which is awesome. I love Overkill. I finally got to see them with King Diamond. Fucking amazing. In other news, that's right, we're moving to release news. Darkthrone, my favorite black metal band of all time. Darkthrone is celebrating 40 years together with a brand new album, and it's called Prehistoric Metal, which is due out May 8th. Let's check out a little clip. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know. But Fenris says prehistoric is a loose term. I just figure it's our vibe, our take on things, and it's more a statement that we use old styles to create something new. It means that we have metal with very loud guitars. He says frightfully barbaric, but not without finesse. I'm excited. I love everything that Darkthrone does. I have pre-ordered the box set, which looks amazing and exciting, and I can't wait to do the unboxing with all of you when that album comes in on May 8th. I'm freaking excited for this. So make sure you check it out. Pre-orders are up right now on Peaceville, so make sure you go and you do that. You're not going to want to miss it. The box set looks amazing. All right, Anthrax. We were all led to believe by Frank Bello that Anthrax was going to be releasing an album in May, but in fact, the reality of it is that it's not happening in May. What is releasing in May is going to be the first single in video. Apparently, the band has had to do some retouches and some reconfigurations in the lab, therefore pushing the album now to a September release. Okay, so if you want Anthrax, you're just going to have to wait for it. I'm super excited. I cannot wait for what this band has to put out. I love everything they do as well. So, with all the exciting news that's happening in the Megadeth camp, this one is a little bit of a different one because Dave Mustaine is going to be coming out with a book in September. It's another memoir, and it's called In My Darkest Hour, and it releases September 8th. But this book, if you're wondering what it is all about, it focuses on the time period in 2019 when Dave was diagnosed with, I'm going to try to say this as best as I can, squamous cell carcinoma. All right. Basically, it was cancer on the back of his tongue, which, by the way, did threaten. I mean, he is the front man as well as the guitar player, so obviously it threatened his ability to sing. So this is all about how he overcame it. And if you love any of Dave's books, I've read one of them. I still got to read the Rust in Peace book, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, if you love what Dave does, you're going to be excited for this one. Former Ozzy Osbourne guitarist. This has me super excited because the first guitarist I ever saw live with Ozzy Osbourne was Joe Holmes. That's right, Ozfest 98. Joe Holmes obviously had taken over for Zakk Wylde. And Joe unveiled on his Instagram that he has a brand new record. He didn't say it, he just kind of showed it to you, right? So the self-titled solo album is going to be releasing on August 14th, 2026. You can get it on CD and vinyl, and it's up for pre-order right now on Amazon. So if you look up Joe Holmes, you will find it there. I'm excited. I love Joe Holmes. I cannot wait to hear what Joe is going to release. It's about time, man. This guy deserves it. He was such an amazing guitar player. I enjoyed seeing him live the 2 years that I did. So, yeah. All right, the Black Veil Brides have announced a new album called Vindicate. And they've also released the title track as a single. Let's check it out. All right, if you enjoyed that, it's due out May 8th via Spine Farm. And the band is also on tour, by the way, with From Ashes to New, TX2, and as December falls, the tour starts April 25th in Riverside, California, and it concludes on May 30th in my neck of the woods, Worcester, Massachusetts. So make sure if you love Black Veil Brides, you go and you check it out. All right, Extinction AD have released a new video for their song Thaw, which, if you didn't figure it out, it is an anti-ice video. Let's take a look. The band has said, the defenders of the status quo, all the way to the regressive, back to the past thinking, infiltrating our scene, is purely bizarre to me. The song is an unabashed condemnation of the abuse of federal power in the ICE organization and the denial of celebrating racist and fascist ideals under the guise of supporting politicians. The video fatwa was to bring like-minded people into our world and be just as, if not more, important than the 4 members of the band. It's not just our song, it's everyone's song. And I couldn't agree more. So check it out. Make sure you support Extinction AD. All right, in tour news, Anvil has announced a summer North American tour. That's right, with East Coast support from Midnight Hellion. The tour starts June 3rd in Rochester, New York, and it goes all the way to July 11th in Toledo, Ohio. Make sure you check that out. Ginger has also announced a North American tour with Crystal Lake and Entheos. The tour starts June 5th in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and it goes all the way to July 25th in Long Beach, California. I do want to warn all of you, though, that there are some tour dates that do not feature Crystal Lake, so make sure you do your research before you buy tickets. So if you want to see Crystal Lake, make sure they are actually coming to your city. This is kind of, I don't know how else to say it. Act like a normal fucking human is basically what I want to say, right? And there's no need for any of this. Apparently Soulfly was about to start their tour with Guar, so they were shipping all their stuff to the first tour date, and apparently they were robbed. That's right. Somebody stole a bunch of the backdrops and a personal bag belonging to one of the crew members, which is just totally unnecessary. We need to stop this shit. All right, these guys need to work. They need to create a show so that their fans who are spending the hard-earned money to enjoy them can fucking enjoy the shows. So if you know any information, make sure you reach out and you contact the band or the authorities, whichever one, and you let them know. Because it's BS. It's just total BS. This last piece of news that I want to get into is kind of funny to me because Trent Reznor apparently recently on one of his tour stops was complaining that news outlets misinterpreted his words. Let's see what he has to say.
And to be clear, I think I said something the other day that then got misconstrued into something that is not intentionally necessarily true. What I said was, this is the last show of this tour, and we don't have any shows booked, and we don't have any plans to book any shows anytime in the future so far. That doesn't mean we may not tour again. We may tour again. It won't be next month, it won't be this year.
All I say for you, Trent, is just, you got to be careful what you say, because people are obviously going to be like, oh, he's thinking about not touring anymore. Okay, let's take that idea and that concept and let's present it to the people, because that is huge news. Anytime somebody is like, hey, I think we're done, or this could be it, we're always going to speculate. But anyways, I hope you guys have all enjoyed the show, Pedal TV News. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you for your support and for subscribing to the channel. So remember, hit that subscribe button. Just be a good person. Don't steal fucking tour equipment from anybody. Don't be a douche. That being said, stay metal.